Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to Rap Pizza, the channel where we dive into the world of rap and hip-hop. Today, we're ranking all of Tyler, the Creator's albums based on their critic scores from MetaCritic. From his raw debut on Goblin to the genre-defying Igor, we'll see how each project stacks up and what makes Tyler one of the most innovative artists in music today. Let's get into it and see how his albums measure up. As always, if you like this video and want more, please hit subscribe. Bastard is Tyler, the Creator's raw and confrontational debut mixtape, released in 2009. Recorded when Tyler was just 18, the album introduces listeners to his unfiltered and darkly humorous perspective, blending angst, introspection, and sharp wit. Over gritty, self-produced beats, Tyler explores themes of loneliness, rebellion, and grappling with his identity, all while pushing boundaries with provocative lyrics. Tracks like Seven and French showcase his lyrical skill and unique vision, setting the stage for his rise in the hip-hop world and establishing him as a fearless voice unafraid to challenge the norms of the genre. Bastard marks the beginning of Tyler's journey as a complex and influential artist. The reason I have chosen not to rank and score this album is due to it not having a dedicated page on Metacritic, making it unfair to score it the same as the other albums. Although I won't give it a score, I will speak on its critical reception. Bastard was met with much praise from critics. Pitchfork called it a minor masterpiece of shock art and the first great odd future-related project, noting the thrilling juxtaposition between humorous and hateful lines. Rap Reviews praised the innovative production and Tyler's rapping skills, but viewed the lyrics as unacceptable, calling the frequent references to rape a deal breaker. It was ranked at number 32 on Pitchfork's list of the top 50 albums of 2010, with the single French being ranked at number 61 on their list of top 100 tracks of 2010. The album was later ranked number 118 on Rolling Stone's 2022 list of the 200 greatest hip-hop albums of all time, and number 38 on Complex's 2018 list of the 50 best rapper mixtapes. Now comes the beginning of our rank section. The lowest ranked album on Metacritic is Cherry Bomb. Cherry Bomb is Tyler, the Creator's bold and experimental 2015 album, marked by a chaotic mix of genres, abrasive production, and unfiltered energy. Embracing a punk rock mentality, Tyler blends hard-hitting hip-hop, jazz, and rock, creating a sonic landscape that's as wild and unpredictable as the title suggests. The album's raw, often abrasive sound is paired with introspective themes of self-doubt, rebellion, and the struggle to find one's place in the world. Tracks like Death Camp and Smuckers stand out for their explosive energy, while songs like See You Again and Fucking Young/Perfect offer glimpses of Tyler's more emotional side. Cherry Bomb is a challenging and polarizing album, hailed for its boundary-pushing creativity, but also critiqued for its rough edges. Despite its divisiveness, it remains a crucial point in Tyler's career, showcasing his fearless approach to music and his evolution as an artist. Cherry Bomb scored 380s from Hip Hop DX, XXL, and The Wire. XXL made the claim that Cherry Bomb is his greatest achievement thus far, solidifying his place in the game, with or without the conspicuously absent Odd Future crew. Pitchfork only gave the album a 67, but acknowledged early Tyler's elite ability to build eras and aesthetic universes around his releases, claiming that Tyler's greatest strength has always been world building, using a synth-heavy blitz of candy-colored jazz chords taken straight, sometimes blatantly so, from the Pharrell Handbook. Cherry Bomb isn't exactly a hard left turn from this lane, but it is a quick swerve. Not all critics were as impressed by Cherry Bomb, with the majority of reviews complimenting the strokes of creativity throughout the album, but found the album to be messy and disorganized in its composure. Spin magazine gave it a 60, claiming Cherry Bomb is both impressive in its ambition and absolutely stunning in its aimlessness, weaving countless genres into multi-part suites, but still coming off undercooked in its entirety. Exclaim would offer Tyler only a 50, writing that moments of sold-out bliss are only temporary, pushed aside by jarring, more aggressive fare reportedly stemming from his interest in the music of Death Grips. These louder tracks are done no favors by the process by which they were engineered, compressed and distorted in a fashion that leaves Tyler's vocals largely inaudible. Wolf is Tyler, the Creator's critically acclaimed 2013 album, marking a significant step forward in his musical and artistic evolution. With its playful yet introspective nature, Wolf blends complex lyricism with vibrant, genre-defying production, weaving elements of hip-hop, jazz, and alternative music. The album explores themes of love, friendship, inner conflict, and Tyler's personal growth, with recurring characters and narratives that create a cohesive story throughout. Standout tracks like Domo, 23, and IFHY showcase Tyler's ability to balance aggressive, raw energy with moments of introspective vulnerability. Wolf reflects Tyler's maturing sound, a departure from the darker tone of Goblin, while still maintaining his signature mix of humor, chaos, and emotional depth. The album was well received by critics and solidified Tyler's place as an innovative force in modern hip-hop. Wolf's highest compliment by far would come in the form of a 90 from the line of Best Fit, who wrote that Wolf is both a departure and a refinement for Tyler, combining his best traits in such a way as to nearly eliminate his weaknesses. Wolf boasted a majority of reviews, scoring it an 80. One of these came from Hip Hop DX, who wrote using Wolf as a platform to let his imagination run wild while remaining accessible. Tyler, the Creator, displays maturation on his own twisted terms. Another came from Exclaim, who penned that they were fascinated with the Tyler bravado, writing while Tyler will almost certainly never outgrow life as a weird, hell-raising provocateur, Wolf shows that he's already growing into life as a smart, diverse artist. The Quietus gave Wolf a 70, but complimented the authenticity of the album to Tyler, the Creator's brand. They wrote Wolf is Tyler's album through and through, a mostly diverting document of juvenile delinquency that defines him better than any prior musical effort. Wolf also received some significant criticism. Spin magazine, who also scored quite low on the previously mentioned Cherry Bomb, wrote so much of Wolf is about distancing Tyler from the listener, whereas the vulnerability and melodic mirroring of Answer, awash in sad organ glissando, and 2 decades of unmet emotional need, is the album's truly shocking moment, in large part because it's so much better than everything else. From there, it's another 8 problematic songs, until a pulse returns during Earl Sweatshirt's guest verse on Rusty. The magazine would offer Tyler only a 50 for his efforts. Goblin is Tyler, the Creator's dark and provocative 2011 debut studio album, introducing listeners to his unique, boundary-pushing style. With its gritty production and unapologetic, often controversial lyrics, Goblin explores themes of inner turmoil, rebellion, and the complexities of identity. Tyler's alter ego, Wolf Haley, serves as a vehicle for the album's raw expression, blending shock value with moments of vulnerability. Tracks like Yonkers and She highlight Tyler's skill as both a producer and lyricist, while also setting the tone for his future work, combining horrorcore, hip-hop, and avant-garde elements. Goblin was divisive but impactful, establishing Tyler as one of the most distinct voices in hip-hop and a central figure in the Odd Future. Collective. Goblin scored a massive 91 from Entertainment Weekly, who joked that Too Bad Kanye, who's also a fan, already used the title last fall, because Goblin is one beautiful, dark, twisted fantasy. Hip Hop DX offered an 80 in their review that acknowledged and lamented on the abrasiveness of Goblin in the hip-hop genre, saying Tyler, the Creator, still achieves an engrossing dystopian vision of hip-hop that refuses to compromise to what fans and industry critics demand of him. No Ripcord also scored Goblin at 80, penning this album then delivers anger, honesty, and arrogance, all in sporadic scattergun fashion. The overriding feeling is confused, uncertain, often unreasonable, but ultimately well-intentioned. DJ Booth gives Goblin a 70, claiming that at first listen, you'll think this album is a disappointment and didn't live up to the hype. And maybe it didn't, but this isn't Bastard, it's an album with a much deeper theme and message with just enough bloodthirsty lines and misogyny to hold the kids over. Goblin's controversial lyricism and themes for the hip-hop climate, at time of its release, was a common theme in some of the lower reviews the album would receive. Village Voice's review gave Tyler a 60, but wrote the repugnant misogynistic bullshit on Goblin sort of cancels any goodwill I have toward the guy, particularly because it feels more like search engine optimization. Tyler makes no bones about his desire to hit the pop charts, and on too much of Goblin, he's doing it in the tawdriest way possible. The similarly scored review from Tiny Mixtapes also puts the subject matter of Goblin under the spotlight, claiming that the question, regrettably, becomes whether or not their transgressive lyrics are funny, whether they're appropriate in a world where we're hung up on identity politics. This difference is significant, and it's precisely here where our reaction to Goblin becomes less weighted. If it's all in jest, who really cares about the relationship between his lyrics and our values? Coming for Tyler the hardest would be the measly 30 from Dusted Magazine, writing that Goblin is the messy schizoid splatter painting of the child we've raised and ruined, and it's coherent only as a hopeless plea for us to expect nothing from him again. Igor is Tyler the Creator's genre-defying 2019 album that blends hip-hop, R&B, and electronic music into a captivating, emotionally charged experience. The album tells a complex narrative of love, heartbreak, and self-discovery, all delivered through a mix of distorted vocals, experimental beats, and lush production. Igor is a departure from Tyler's earlier works, embracing a more atmospheric and synth-heavy sound that feels both introspective and expansive. Tracks like Earthquake and New Magic Wand stand out for their infectious melodies and raw, emotional intensity. The album received widespread critical acclaim for its bold artistic vision and earned Tyler his first Grammy for Best Rap Album. Igor solidified Tyler's place as one of the most innovative and boundary-pushing artists of his generation, creating an unforgettable, one-of-a-kind listening experience. The highest review came from The Independent, who offered a perfect 100 in a review that compliments the album with, quote, "The production here is superb." Tyler has never been one for traditional song structure, but on Igor, he's like the Minotaur luring you through a maze that twists and turns around seemingly impossible corners, drawing you into the thrilling unknown. This is Tyler's best work to date. AllMusic would give this album a 90, but spoke in great detail and compliment toward the overall love triangle theme of the album by saying Tyler and a motorcade's worth of supporting vocalists fulfill the promise and threat with what plays out. A creatively vital and emotionally heartsick set with as much pain, vulnerability, and compulsion as a classic soul LP. While Under the Radar offered only an 80, they wanted to draw focus on Tyler's impressive genre switch from a pure rap persona to one that represented the more sonically experimental Tyler we see in his present-day releases. They wrote, for the most part, Tyler has opted out of his rapping heritage, preferring pitch-altered singing vocals, which will split some opinion. However, this elevated Igor beyond the mere confines of genre to a substantially great work of art, cementing Tyler's case as one of this decade's most essential artists. The lowest review came from The Wire, who wrote things improve markedly when he plays to his strengths with a nuanced narrative of a boy is a gun. But ultimately, such moments are hard to hear over the pitiable puppet in Earthquake, functional pop wisely rejected by Justin Bieber and Rihanna. When the narrative sags and his mind seems to wander, it just isn't enough, no matter how stylish the trimmings. Flower Boy is Tyler the Creator's critically acclaimed 2017 album, marking a turning point in his career with its introspective and more vulnerable tone. The album explores themes of identity, love, and self-acceptance, with Tyler delving into his own struggles and desires in a way that feels both personal and universal. The lush, intricate production combines jazzy, soulful elements with his signature bold style, creating a sound that is both experimental and accessible. Featuring standout tracks like See You Again and 911/Mr. Lonely, Flower Boy showcases a more mature Tyler, unafraid to confront his emotions and challenge traditional norms. Widely praised for its artistry and emotional depth, The album earned Tyler his first Grammy nomination for Album of the Year, solidifying his place as one of the most innovative voices in modern music. Speaking the highest of the album was the A.V Club, who rated it a very impressive 91. Writing Flower Boy is the first time he's been equally as forthcoming in his actual music. His flow has tightened up, and for a man whose voice basically destined him for rap stardom, he's become even better at stretching his booming baritone into novel shapes, employing a plethora of flows. AllMusic would once again score Tyler with a 90, claiming while most of these songs are rife with anxiety and isolation, the open-hearted lyricism and wide-scope productions, put together by an artist in peak form, make them immensely engrossing. Frank Ocean, Pharrell Williams, Kali Uchis, Sid, and Estelle are among 11 supporting cast members, not one of whom is inessential to the whole. Tyler's artistic growth was also heavily lamented on by The Guardian, who wrote in their review that Flower Boy captures Tyler at his least tormented and twisted. It is an album of exquisitely arranged, melodious synth rap, wistful and reflective, heavy on the heavenly. It's not all dreamy watch out for the occasional profane pothole, but largely this is the work of an evolved artist and mature person. Flower Boy's biggest critic would come in the form of a harsh 50 from Consequence, who claimed that Flower Boy was more of the same. It seems to be needing something more, an extra spark of interest. Second best, according to critics, is the newest release in Tyler's discography. Chromacopia is the 8th studio album by American rapper Tyler, the Creator, released on October 28, 2024, through Columbia Records as the follow-up to Call Me If You Get Lost, 2021. Entirely written, produced, and arranged by Tyler himself, the album features guest appearances from artists like Daniel Caesar, Doekiai, Glorilla, LaToya Williams, Lil Wayne, Childish Gambino, Lola Young, Sonny Gold, Schoolboy Q, Sexy Red, and Tizo Touchdown. The physical album release also includes a special feature from Playboi Carti. Critics widely acclaim Chromacopia for its lyricism, cohesive yet chaotic style, and innovative production. The album was led by its single Noid and supported by 2 promotional singles, Saint Chroma and Thought I Was Dead. It became a massive commercial success, debuting at #1 on the US Billboard 200, marking Tyler's 3rd US #1 album and his fastest-selling release to date. Several tracks, including Noid and Saint Chroma, also charted on the Billboard Hot 100. The Quietus would give the album a perfect 100, noting that with Chromacopia, Tyler, the Creator, crafts an album that is as much an exploration of identity as it is a sonic masterpiece. Collaborators: Childish Gambino, Willow Doekiai, Glorilla, Lil Wayne, Sexy Red, Solange, and Tizo Touchdown, each adding distinct textures and perspectives that enhance the album's emotional complexity. Consequence, who funnily were only just mentioned as being a big critic of Flower Boy for needing to be more interesting, wrote as eccentric and wide-ranging as the Sonics are, featuring everything from 808s to bleeding trumpets to distorted guitars. No beat feels out of place. Maybe the artist has successfully primed his audience to expect the unexpected, or maybe he's just that good. But whatever the respective vibe of any given cut is, it's undeniably the product of Tyler, the Creator. Slant Magazine grades the album the most harshly, offering only a 50 and writing that Tyler's ambitions on Chromacopia are grand. But the album attempts to do a lot while saying little, and claim that the harder that Tyler strains to assert his auteur credentials, the more overworked his compositions become. The album's penchant for left-field arrangements and genre switch-ups is intended to be exhilarating rather than exhausting. But when he aims for a straight-up banger, like the pep rally wannabe Sticky, his try-hard sensibilities, layering in a brass section, a slew of truncated guest features delivering barely considered 4-bar verses, and an extended outro, overwhelm any sense of excitement. Call Me If You Get Lost is Tyler, the Creator's adventurous and introspective 6th studio album, showcasing his evolution as both an artist and storyteller. Released in 2021, the album takes listeners on a journey through themes of freedom, romance, and self-discovery, all wrapped in the style of a luxurious travelogue. With influences from classic hip-hop, jazz, and R&B. Tyler blends humor and honesty, skillfully reflecting on love, ego, and ambition. The album features guest appearances from artists like Lil Wayne, Pharrell Williams, and 42 Dugg, and received widespread acclaim for its production and lyrical depth. Call Me If You Get Lost is a celebration of self-expression and exploration, reinforcing Tyler's place as one of hip-hop's most innovative voices. Call Me If You Get Lost scored a perfect 100 from The Guardian and The Independent, with The Guardian referring to the album as a dense, kaleidoscopic album that might take a lot of time to fully unpick, but clearly isn't going to diminish in quality if you do so. The Independent also speaks to the chaotic nature of the album, but admits it falters in comparison to Igor, claiming that while the production here is as slick as Igor, though there's less of a through line. Igor was the devastating piece-together parts of a broken relationship. Kmeagle plays fast and loose with its subjects, relying instead on the music itself to carry listeners through. Call Me If You Get Lost also boasted high reviews from AllMusic with a 90, Exclaim with a 90, and Hip Hop DX with an 88. Although only giving it an 80, the Rolling Stone makes the claim that the rapper's signature self-awareness has matured into some of the more compelling rap music being made today. And as such, Call Me If You Get Lost proves to be Tyler's best effort to date. The lowest review comes from Sputnik Music, who gave it a very low 58 and said, quote, "A good to great set of songs. That would make a fire mixtape if you cut the energy-draining bores run it up. And I thought you wanted to dance? A half-finished classic album, powered by reckless abandon and thrilling energy, but too scattershot to make it over the finish line? It's both and neither, and I don't know, man. Call Me If You Get Lost is too busy shooting itself in the foot and calling it coming down to earth to be complete, but following along with its fragmented course down is still an exercise worth engaging in." This review, although an outlier, acknowledges the messiness and chaos of Call Me If You Get Lost, but not in a credit to the body of work. This would place Call Me If You Get Lost as Tyler's best album, according to the critics. Alright, that's it for today's ranking of Tyler, the creator's albums. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to Rap Pizza for more content, and ring the bell so you're always in the loop with new uploads. Also, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below and let me know what you think about these rankings and your favorite Tyler album. Let's get the conversation going. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.